Disney has helped to shape the American culture. Over the years, a Disney store has become an institution, a symbol for middle-class families living the dream. However, today, it looks like the Magic Kingdom is crumbling down. The largest share of Disney's public, middle-income households are struggling to afford Disney tickets, Disney products, and Disney streaming services, and that is putting the company in a very complicated financial situation. With expenditures surpassing profits, the entertainment giant is now dealing with some billionaire losses that are leading to mass layoffs, business shutdowns, and an internal reorganization as it tries to survive the storm. CEO Bob Iger is warning about major challenges for 2023, and millions of fans will likely be devastated to lose their local Disney stores in the months ahead. We have a lot to cover today, but before moving on, we kindly ask you to support our channel with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. When Disney started opening stores throughout the United States in the late 1980s and early 90s, fans were completely thrilled by the fact that they would have access to Disney accessories and action figures without having to go on a trip all the way down to its famous theme park in Orlando to be able to celebrate their favorite movie characters. At that time, prices were reasonable, and the company's products were very popular amongst Americans, young and old. The success was so great that Disney expanded its operations to overseas markets, and at one point, there were over 1,000 Disney stores worldwide. Like the Disney parks themselves, the Disney store originated in California, with the first store opening in the Glendale Galleria on March 28, 1987. What fueled this popularity, apart from its legion of fans, was the fact that this was no mere storefront with a handful of Disney goods inside. Rather, the Disney store revolutionized a whole new field of retail-tainment, creating an experience for shoppers that went beyond the tangible goods being sold. TVs playing its classic movies, interactive games, and life-size characters made these places special. Some say they're considered the early version of the Apple Store. Its magical tales and enchanting characters hold significant cultural importance for the American middle class. For decades, Disney has captured the imagination and hearts of millions, becoming an integral part of American popular culture. The influence of Disney extends far beyond mere entertainment. It has shaped the cultural fabric of the American middle class in various ways. First and foremost, Disney has provided a source of shared experiences and nostalgia for families, from classic animated films like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to the modern blockbusters like Frozen. Disney movies have become a bonding agent, creating lasting memories for parents and children alike. For many middle-class families, a trip to Disney parks represents a dream come true, symbolizing the attainment of a certain level of financial stability and success. Disney's merchandise and consumer products have also permeated the American middle-class culture. From clothing and toys to home decor and accessories, Disney's characters have become ubiquitous in middle-class households. The iconic Mickey Mouse ears, princess costumes, and superhero action figures have become symbols of childhood and innocence, while also serving as markers of social identity and belonging within the middle-class community. But as years went by and middle-income families gradually lost the purchasing power they once had, the Disney empire started to fall apart. These days, the remaining Disney stores are few and far between. They're also mere shadows of their former selves, lacking the unique features that defined the franchise at its peak, and largely today serving as an outlet for parks and online merchandise that failed to sell. It seems like the magic of Disney has been no match for the downturn in mall foot traffic and the general crisis of brick-and-mortar retail. As of today, the family entertainment and media enterprise has just 22 stores in the United States. But what could possibly have happened to bring down such a beloved store at malls across America? The answer is not that simple, but one thing is abundantly clear. The company has fallen victim to what made it so successful in the first place. All the care that was put into its creation and management that many of these locations became too expensive to keep running. That's why similar retail-tainment companies such as Warner Brothers Studio Store proved unprofitable. In the few stores that are still standing, prices are rising much faster than what Disney fans can pay. A report by Business Insider, citing an analysis run for the outlet by travel firm Touring Plans, revealed that food and souvenir prices at Disneyland parks have jumped by as much as 33% since last summer. By comparison, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported earlier this month that the country's consumer price index stands at 5%, meaning that Disney prices are outpacing inflation in the U.S. Examples cited by the outlet included studded Mickey Mouse ears headbands, which will cost $40 this summer compared to $29.99 last year, and pineapple-flavored Dole Whip, which cost $5.99 last summer, but now retails for $7 at some locations. Touring Plans also noted that hotel prices at 3 Walt Disney World resorts have risen faster than inflation rates. For instance, the cheapest per-night room rate at the Pop Century Hotel in Disney World Orlando was $95 in 2013, but rose to $170 this year. A decade ago, the standard room rate at the Animal Kingdom Lodge was $486, compared to $800 today. It also compared the prices of Disney's most expensive one-day pass and reported that the ticket used to cost $129 in 2018 and now costs $162. In fact, over the past 12 months, the company increased ticket prices twice, but Americans haven't experienced significant wage growth in years. Millions of middle-class families simply can't afford to take their children to Disney stores, parks, restaurants, and hotels anymore. And now, some of the company's biggest businesses are going bankrupt and closing down. This month, the enterprise is closing its Star Wars-themed hotel, the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, just 1 year after opening. With trips starting at $4,809 for 2 guests in a standard cabin and going upwards of $6,000 for a family, it was out of reach for many visitors from the start. Occupancy has collapsed in recent months, with Disney struggling to fill even a single dinner service. Looking at recent online reviews, the hotel looks near deserted, thereby making the experience guests are paying for more than a little underwhelming. On top of that, another Walt Disney World resort in Orlando, Florida, has just been closed for good. Over the past year, the company has also shut down several of its retail locations, according to Fox Business. For example, all of the stores in the Chicago area were closed in September 2022. 4 of the 5 Disney stores in New Jersey went dark too. Another 11 out of 14 stores in the Los Angeles area were closed. The only Disney store in Orlando, outside of those within the Walt Disney World Resort, was shuttered in November. The Disney Outlet store in Derry Township, Pennsylvania, was closed last month. The company also confirmed that all of its Canadian locations would be shuttered right after it announced that all its stores in the UK would close doors, with the exception of 2 flagship stores at London's Oxford Street and in Dublin. On Twitter, fans lamented the loss. Caroline Twells beseeched the company to listen to fans and stop closing stores. It's apparently come to this at Disney Store GBR. You need to stop closing the stores. You are literally breaking my heart. What in the world do you expect us to do? The user asked. Destiny Ramirez is also devastated by the closure of her local Disney store. Knowing the Disney store is officially closed breaks my heart, the fan wrote. Earlier this year, the company said it wants to shut down 20% of its brick-and-mortar stores by the end of the year as a part of a new reorganization plan. Unfortunately, the closings may be the least of Disney's problems. The enterprise is facing a media industry in turmoil, plunging cable subscriptions, a still recovering box office, massive streaming losses, skeptical shareholders, management changes and layoffs, and growing labor disputes with employees. That's a lot for CEO Bob Iger to handle. With revenue at $4.1 billion and expenditures at $6.4 billion, the company is officially in debt, and in the past quarter, it wrote down $1.474 billion in losses related to its various streaming services. As a result, Disney's earnings are expected to fall nearly 30% from a year ago, despite high revenues. We anticipate Disney is likely to introduce structural changes as well as cost cuts, said Jessica Reif-Ehrlich, an analyst with the Bank of America. The climate is tense, given that it's been less than a year since former CEO Bob Chapek was fired after Disney's stock came crashing down due to poor financial results. Bob Iger assumed the role. We do not believe that one person can single-handedly rescue the company, said a note from Wall Street research firm MoffettNathanson. CEO Iger's return will force Disney to have an honest and courageous self-examination on what is working, what needs to be fixed. At the moment, labor disputes are getting more intense, with unionized rank-and-file workers at Disney World voting 96% against a contract offer from Disney that would have given them hourly raises of at least $1 a year over the next 5 years. The unions are demanding an immediate raise of $3 an hour for members. That's a 20% raise, with $1 an hour raises to follow in subsequent years. The unions say that the current wages of about $15 an hour aren't enough to live in the Orlando area, even when working full-time. In response, the company has just announced it will begin laying off staff this month, the second of 3 rounds of job cuts before the summer that'll see 7,000 roles slashed, according to a memo from Iger. The job cuts are part of a broader suite of cost-cutting measures totaling $5.5 billion. This week, we begin notifying employees whose positions are impacted by the company's workforce reductions, Iger said in the memo. Leaders will be communicating the news directly to the first group of impacted employees over the next 4 days. Another larger round of notifications will happen next month, with several thousand more staff reductions, and we expect to commence the final round of notifications before the beginning of the summer to reach our 7,000 job target. Iger also noted unprecedented challenges ahead for the company and its remaining employees. We have made the difficult decision to reduce our overall workforce by approximately 7,000 jobs as part of a strategic realignment of the company, including important cost-saving measures necessary for creating a more effective, coordinated, and streamlined approach to our business, the executive added. At the end of the day, the problems faced by Disney are a reflection of a weaker economy and a financially insecure middle class. The oppressive cost of living is taking away experiences that we used to enjoy with our families. Americans are having to spend more of their pay on basic necessities and are left with little to no money for leisure and entertainment. If companies had the conditions to thrive in the current environment, they wouldn't be passing along desperate price increases to offset their losses and to save their businesses. The decay of this global media leader symbolizes the downfall of our culture as a whole. It unveils the dire state of our economy, the breakdown of our middle class. Sadly, Disney is not alone, and we will continue to see many major companies in America going down the same path. What are your views on this? We look forward to reading your comments below this video, and thank you very much for watching.